Okay, hello. So today we are going to do some listening practice. I'm going to show you a video of somebody talking about how to say no at work. So we're going to watch that, and then we're going to try and figure out what that means for you. So sometimes it's different, how like you want to talk about things, how you want to say no. But first, we'll watch the video of them talking about it.
How do I get better? How would you advise I practice saying no? What are the pieces?
First, consider the request and evaluate whether you can do it. Is it important for your career? And then secondly, acknowledge and thank your manager for thinking of you. Again, this will help safeguard being sort of branded as someone who's not a team player or difficult. Then use evidence to say no. For example, I need this time that you've asked of me to work on X, and therefore I won't be able to do Y. And be really firm. And last, really reinforce or renegotiate. So one of the two, right? So either get your manager to agree, reinforce your no, and say, thanks again for asking me. As I said, I'll be really, tied up doing X. And do you agree that I should really prioritize this? Or renegotiate with them. Say if there's absolutely no way that this project or this request can wait, let's renegotiate what needs to be put on the back burner so that I can prioritize this request.
Okay, so that was a lot of talking, and she talked fast. So we'll watch it one more time. Try to listen and understand as much as you can, and then we will talk about it again after.
No. What are the pieces?
First, consider the request and evaluate whether you can do it. Is it important for your career? And then secondly, acknowledge and thank your manager for thinking of you. Again, this will help safeguard being sort of branded as someone who's not a team player or difficult. Then use evidence to say no. For example, I need this time that you've asked of me to work on X, and therefore I won't be able to do Y. And be really firm. And last, really reinforce or renegotiate. So one of the two, right? So either get your manager to agree, reinforce your no, and say, thanks again for asking me. As I said, I'll be really, tied up doing X. And do you agree that I should really prioritize this? Or renegotiate with them. Say if there's absolutely no way that this project or this request can wait, let's renegotiate what needs to be put on the back burner so that I can prioritize this request.
Okay, so let me talk to you about what was said. So, sorry, I just gotta go through. Okay, here. So the first thing that she said was, consider the request. What does that mean? Consider the request. It means for you to think about what they asked you. So the first thing that you can do when your manager asks you something, or if your coworker asks you to do something, you think about it, and then you think, okay, can I do it? Is it something that I can do? Do I have the time? Will I be able to finish my work? Will it be okay for me? Like, am I comfortable doing it? Is it okay for me? And then you can also think, will doing the thing that they ask me, will it help me in my job? Will it help me maybe get promoted? Will it teach me things that I will need to know when I apply to be a manager, right? So that's what you can think about when somebody asks you to do something. Now, if it does not work and you need to say no, the first thing or the second thing that she says to do is to acknowledge the request. What does this word acknowledge mean? So what does this mean? Acknowledge. So the word acknowledge, when we say it, we mean that we are saying, I know what you know. I understand what you are asking me. So when you acknowledge the request, when you let them know that you know what they're asking, you can thank your manager for thinking of you, right? So you can say, oh, thank you so much for thinking of me. Let them know you are glad they believe in how hard you work. That's the other thing, is your manager would not ask you if they didn't think that you were a hard worker, you do a good job. So it's important when they ask you and you need to say no, that you let them know, thank you for thinking of me. Because when they ask you to do something, they're thinking about you as a hard worker, as a good employee. So, you just say, thank you for thinking of me. I'm glad, or I'm happy that you came to ask me this. So you tell them that to let them know that you are thankful, right? You are glad that they thought of you and that they think good things about you. The next part is when you say no, is you let them know why you cannot do it. So you can just say no, right? Can you work an extra hour today? If you cannot do it, it's okay to just say, no, I can't. But if it's something really big, like, could you help me with some paperwork? Can you make sure, oh, this could happen, is your supervisor leaves early for an emergency and they say, Angelique, can you please make sure that, the office is closed up, right? Can you make sure everything is put away at the end of the day before everybody leaves? So if that was something you needed to say no for, you could say, you think about it, can I do this? Maybe you can't, maybe you were going to leave early. You say, oh, thank you for thinking of me, but I have to leave early today, or I don't work late today. Or you could say, I have to pick up my son from work, or I have to pick up my husband from his job, or I get a ride home with other people who leave earlier. So when you're saying no, let them know why that you're saying no, because it will help them understand that you're not just saying nope, right? It lets them know, okay, they would do it, right? They want to help me, but they can't. So you could say, one of the things that you could say is, I have a lot going on right now. That's something a lot of people say in English all the time. This is a phrase people say all the time. I have a lot going on right now. It just means that you're busy. The other one you could say is, I need that time to finish my responsibilities. So responsibilities is the things that you're in charge of, right? So when you come to work, there are things that only you do, right? And you need to finish them by the end of the day. So if they're asking you to do something and it makes it so you cannot do those things, you need to say no, right? So you let them know, you let your manager know, you let your coworker know, thank you for thinking of me, but I can't because I need that time to finish my responsibilities. And then the other part that she talked about is this word called reinforce. Now, reinforce, when she talks about it this way, it means to make sure that they know that you are saying no, and make sure that you are being clear that they understand you. So it's to make sure you and your manager agree. So basically, you have to say no again. So you said, thank you for thinking of me. I'm really busy. And then to reinforce it, you say, thank you again for asking, but as I said, I will be busy, right? You can use I will because you're talking about the future, right? They're asking you to do something in the future. So you can say, as I said, past tense, because you're talking about something you said a couple minutes ago. And then you say, I will, because you're talking about your action in the future. I will be busy. Or you could say, thank you for thinking of me. Maybe next time. This one is good because it's letting them know without saying exactly. You're saying, thank you for thinking of me. Maybe next time. You're saying that I could help you in the future, or I can help you, but not right now, right? I could help you another time. So make sure you ask me. So that's kind of what it means. So thank you for thinking of me, maybe next time. Now, sometimes at work, we are asked to do things and our manager isn't really asking us permission. They are telling us, I need you to do this. So when this happens at work, it's hard because sometimes you're like, I really don't want to do this. But sometimes at work, stuff happens and it's not your manager's fault. It's not another person's fault. Sometimes somebody's out sick. So the work needs to be finished, but you know, there aren't enough people. So everybody has to work harder. I know this has happened to you guys before. I remember you telling me about it. And so if something like that happens, you want to do this thing that she said called renegotiate. So you can reinforce, which means to just say no again, right? Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for asking, but no, I cannot. If you renegotiate, that means you're saying, okay, you're talking about it and you're saying, I can't do it this way, but maybe I can do it this way. So if you need to do it, ask them for help to get things done because you know you won't be able to finish it by yourself. So you need to let your manager know, I can do this, but we need to do it a little bit different, right? We need to do it that works for me. So, okay, this is one of the things you say. Okay, I can come in, but only for a few hours, right? So your boss says, Anna Maria, I need you to come in on your day off tomorrow on Saturday. And because somebody called in sick and they can't come to work. So you know that you can't say no, but you know that you already have plans, right, on Saturday that you also need to do for your own life, not at work, but in your life. So you say, okay, I can come in, but only a few hours. I can work from 10 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So you're letting them know, yes, I will do it, but we need to do it this way for it to work for me. Or you can talk about, okay, if I do this, I need help with this. If I help with the patient's rooms, I will need help with the operating rooms. So that's what this one is. If I help doing this, I will need help to get my work done. Or I might not get my work done. So that's what this one down here is. I can do it, but I might not get my work done. So this one is telling them, yes, I will do it, but if I do two things, if I'm doing my job and somebody else's job, my work might not get done, or the other job might not get done. And the word might is like maybe, right? So there's yes, there's no, and then there's maybe. Maybe means it might happen or it might not happen. It could be yes, I finished, or it could be no, I did not. You don't know. We use maybe when we don't know if it will be yes, it is done, or no, it is not done. So that was it for today. And just let me know if you have any questions about this, or if you need help or aren't really sure how to say no to something at work, like a really big thing. So just let me know. And that's it for today.